Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we will cover an interesting topic. I will show you an example of 30 trackers, explain their purpose and how best to use them. Some of these I use frequently myself, so I'll be showing examples from my own journals, or I'll demonstrate how you can create them yourself. There is going to be a lot of interesting stuff today, so let's go on. Hobby tracker used to record time spent on hobbies to enjoy them more and develop skills. This tracker is convenient for taking a large number of habits. The day of the month are listed horizontally and you shade the cells corresponding to the day in the habits section. At the bottom there is a tracker for non-daily habits, where each habit is assigned a color and the days of the month are shared with a corresponding color. This is an example of a habit tracker layout for a smaller number of habits. At the bottom I have another section for non-daily habits. Here is another beautiful version of such a tracker with the same system, where each habit has a specific cell, and only difference is that I write the days of the month on top of the cells and then circle them when completed. Learning tracker used to track the time spent learning new things, so you can monitor your growth and development. The layout here is the same as in the habit tracker example, which is quite suitable for organizing a learning tracker. Here is another version of such a tracker, arranged vertically. It's more convenient when there's a lot of learning to track. I separate each learning activity with dividers. In my case, it's decorative tape. I also use the tape to write the title of each session on. Vitamins and medication tracker reminds you to take your vitamins and medication on time to maintain your health. On one side I write down the list of medications. I usually track medication intake for myself and my son. Each medication is assigned a specific color, which I then transfer to the bottom of the page. In the middle of the page there is a section for tracking my medications and my son separately. On the divider I write the days of the month and then mark the intake dates with the corresponding color. I always track medications using the same system, but now I will show you how to create two simplified trackers. The first option is for dividing intake into morning, afternoon and evening. Checkboxes are added for tracking, and in the lists on the left you can specify the names of the medications. The second option doesn't divide by time of the day, but you can create separate columns for different types of medications and visually differentiate the checkboxes. Travel tracker used to record the places you have visited, plans and experiences from trips, helping you preserve memories and plan new adventures. Here's the first version of a travel tracker layout. On one side I make a list of necessary items for the trip, and on the other a list of places I want to visit. However, this is my favorite system, which I use during the summer months when I travel frequently, rather than for a single specific trip. On the left, I write down the list of places I would like to visit, and on the right, I have a calendar to evenly distribute trips and visually see if the month is overloaded or not. Reading tracker needed to record the books or pages you have read to motivate yourself to read more and track progress. I have only tried setting up a reading tracker once. I read books in different formats. For example, this one I listened to as an audiobook. This one I read in electronic format, and this one in a paperback. That's why I didn't need this field for tracking pages. I also like to keep a small tracker in the weekly spread to log the titles of books and movies I read or watch during a specific week. It doesn't take up much space or time for tracking. Now I will show you two other interesting versions of a reading tracker. The first one is the form of a bookshelves. It is mostly used as an annual tracker where you draw many books and throughout the year write down the titles of you have read on their spines. It's visually appealing but time consuming. The second version is simpler. Create a table with days and the number of pages read each day. You can also add a list of goals. This tracker is more for motivation. Mood tracker helps you record your mood every day to better understand your emotional states and their causes. Here's a version of yearly mood tracker. I used to keep two at once, one for myself and one for my son. When he was younger, I found it interesting to track his mood as well. The system is that each color corresponds to a specific mood, and depending on how you felt that day, you shade the cell with the appropriate color. Now I keep this tracker with the same system, but only for myself. I find it convenient to track mood for a year. Exercise tracker used to record your workouts and physical activity so you can stay fit and monitor your progress. I have only tried keeping this type of tracker once. On the left there are several blocks with exercises, and on the right cells for days with the number of times the exercise needs to be done, increasing daily. There are also empty cells for rest days. It is an interesting system, but since I'm not very athletic, I didn't continue using it. On the right side there are measurement records with specific dates for taking measurements. Productivity tracker allows you to track your productivity so you can see how you use your time and what can be improved. I like to keep a productivity tracker in a mini format on the title page of the month. The system uses colors. Each color corresponds to a certain state, and you shade the date with the appropriate color. This is also a mini tracker, but for a week, where I highlighted different productivity categories like work, relationships, and rest. There is an option to rate from 1 to 5 at the end of the week. It is a good system to see where you are spending more or less time. Content Planning Tracker, used to organize and record ideas and deadlines for content creation, helping to maintain a regular posting schedule and stay on track with your goals. I started keeping this tracker for the first time this month, when the number of social media accounts I manage increased. I plan to refine it further. Next month I want to dedicate 2 pages to it, to plan more content, record ideas for posts, and perhaps detail some sections more. Water intake tracker helps you track how much water you drink daily for those who want to stay healthy and hydrated. This is a yearly tracker where I noted how much water we ordered. I found it convenient to track this information. This is a weekly tracker where you can mark how much water you drink daily, but for me I didn't find it very useful, but it is convenient that there are now stickers with trackers, so you don't have to draw them by hand. Cleaning tracker, used to record completed household chores to keep your home organized and ensure that routines tasks are overlooked. This specific tracker follows the Marie Kondo method. The first stage involves several decluttering zones. As you complete each zone, you check off the boxes. The next stage focuses on organizing the space with a list of items needed for organization and tasks that will help you maintain order. I will show you 2 versions of a cleaning tracker layout. The first one simply highlights the main household chores, creating check boxes for them, and you mark the days when each task was completed. Instead of check boxes, you can also write down specific dates for when it's best to do the cleaning. The second version is more focused on days of the week rather than type of cleaning. You divide the tasks by day and use check boxes to mark their completion. Gratitude tracker, used to record things you are grateful for to foster positive thinking and improve mood. I always keep this tracker paired with a mini journal, which I design in the same style. On one page I write about what happened that day, and on the other I write what I'm grateful for that day in same format. This is very convenient for me. It helps with reflection and preserving valuable memories. Sleep tracker, needed to track the time and quality of your sleep for those who want to establish a regular sleep. I like to track my sleep using this system. Every day I note what time I went to bed and woke up, the quality of my sleep and the total sleep time. I used to also track whether the child woke up during the night and how long they slept in total. This affected my sleep quality, so I decided to add these indicators. This is a simplified version of a sleep tracker where I only noted the total duration and quality of sleep. However, for a good analysis I need more parameters, so I didn't like this tracker as much, but it might work for those who only care about sleep duration. Now I keep this tracker in a system very similar to the first one I showed. Except I no longer track my son's sleep since he is grown up. For me, this remains the most convenient system. I also show you two simpler versions of this tracker. The first is just a small list with the date and a few parameters. Here it's bedtime and wake up time. You can customize this according to your needs. The second version is a graphic tracker, which is very popular now. For example, take the total sleep time, divide it into categories, and assign them a color. Then shade the cell corresponding to a specific date with the assigned color. It looks beautiful and visual at the end of the month, but it's time-consuming. Meal tracker, used to record meal times and quality to monitor and improve your diet. You can come up with many different variations depending on your goals. For example, in the first version, I create a tracker to understand what food I'll be eating during the week and what to buy for it. This simplifies the cooking and shopping process. The second version is for those who want to monitor their diet quality. Here I not only know the dishes, but also their calorie content and ingredients. Meditation tracker, used to track the time spent meditating to maintain mindfulness practice and reduce stress. This is a very simple tracker with a checkbox to mark completion and also record the time. Depending on your goals, you can also include the quality of meditation or your favorite music, for example. Social media usage tracker allows you to monitor time spent on social media to avoid spending too much time and be more productive. In the first version, I simply draw a basic tracker with smartphone icons, where you can write the time spent on social media each day. For a more detailed version, you could create a separate table for each social network, set time limits, and record the daily time spent. In this example, I do this using a color-coded system for better visualization at the end of the month. Creativity tracker, used to record time spent on creative activities to encourage yourself to develop creativity. Here is an interesting monthly tracker idea that came to my mind. Each day's cell contains a creative task of varying difficulty. This tracker is sure to provide a lot of inspiration and ideas. Expense tracker helps you log your spending to manage your budget and better handle your finances. Depending on the complexity of your spendings, this tracker can vary. In the first version, it's just a table where you list the date, description of the expense, whether it was a want or a need, and the amount spent. In the second version, I create several tables to track different types of expenses: fixed costs, debt payments, savings, and the amount you earn, plus additional expenses. This system allows for a better analysis of your financial situation. Emotional State Tracker allows you to track your emotions to better understand your internal state and work on it. I think this tracker is useful for those who have trouble understanding and processing their emotions. For example, you could make a list of the main emotions you experience throughout the day and note whether you felt them on a particular day. If you want more information, you can also write down situations where you felt joy or anger. This can be a tool for reflection also. Weather Tracker used to record weather conditions to see how they affect your mood and activities. I know many people keep it in a yearly tracker format, similar to a mood tracker. I will show you a version for tracking weather over the month, where each cell can be used to note the weather throughout the day, as well as other parameters like temperature and pressure. Well-being Tracker helps you record your physical well-being to monitor changes in health and identify issues. This is very individual. Such a tracker can be used for monitoring your medical tests or doctor visits. It depends on what you usually do to maintain your health. Menstrual Cycle Tracker used to record the start and duration of your menstrual cycle to better track your health and plan your days. I find this tracker very convenient. Many people use it in app, but you can also track your cycle like this in your journal. Skincare Tracker helps you log your skincare routines to maintain healthy and beautiful skin. This tracker is similar to a habit tracker, but since skincare routines can involve a lot of steps, it's sometimes helpful to have a separate tracker for it. Pet Care Tracker used to log feeding times, walks, and other care activities for your pets to maintain their health and well-being. Depending on your needs, this tracker can be used to log vaccinations and checkups for your pets. If you breed animals, you can also include more detailed information about what your pets need. Plant Care Tracker used to record watering, fertilizing, and other plant care activities to make your plant healthy and beautiful. This is a very colorful tracker where you can create a small list of all your plants with images and care instructions. For example, note if a plant likes sunlight or how often it needs watering. You can even create a small separate watering tracker for each plant. Procrastination Tracker used to log moments when you delay tasks and understand the reasons and reduce distractions. I know only one type of procrastination tracker, which is quite similar to calendar. Its purpose is to visually show how much time has already passed and motivate you to take action. You can also use a regular calendar to mark off the days as they pass. Dream Tracker, used to record your dreams to better understand your subconscious and track recurring themes and patterns. I think a dream tracker would work well with a system similar to a gratitude tracker. Each day would have a space where you could write down your dreams or insights. Bad Habits Tracker allows you to record day without smoking, alcohol, or other bad habits to see progress and motivate yourself. You can use a simple checklist system to track progress, or if the process is more complex, you could note the date when you started quitting, the month or days when you succeeded or had setbacks, and record positive changes and motivations. Tasks and To-Do Tracker helps you record and complete tasks so you don't forget important things and stay organized. For a month task tracker, I usually create a small chart where I write down the main tasks of the month. My favorite system for tracking weekly tasks is To-Do list. On the left side of the page, I draw a box under a specific day where I write the time of the task, if applicable, and on the right, I add the description of the task. If the task is completed, I check it off. If it needs to be moved, I draw an arrow to another day. This system is convenient if you don't have too many tasks during the week. Saving Tracker, used to log the amount you save to better manage finances and achieve financial goals. Here is an example of a yearly saving tracker. It has 3 blocks, each with 50 Tetris pieces. Each piece represents a certain amount of money, and when you save that amount, you color in the piece. By the end, all the pieces should be filled in, and you will have reached your saving goals. Well guys, that's all trackers for today. My favorites are habit and sleep trackers. Which are your favorite? Thank you for joining me today. I hope you got a lot of new ideas. Thank you, see you next time, bye.